everyone. Hope you can all hear me okay. I usually start off every presentation with the joke, as an American, I rarely need a microphone, so hopefully you in the back row can still hear me. So I'm here today to talk to you about a campaign that I wish I thought of. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the campaign before I reveal what the campaign actually is. One of the things that I thought, the first thing I thought about this campaign that was so brilliant is that it was a really accessible ask. It's very low barrier, and it meant that anyone who could respond, or who would likely respond, could respond, essentially, if that makes sense. So it was a very low barrier, low ask, which I thought meant that it was open to everyone. The other thing that I really liked about this idea is that it was very interactive. And when we talk today about the change in what people want, the change in what donors are expecting, they want to be involved. They're no longer a separate entity that's just giving money and thinking, oh, I've done my good deed for the day. They really want to see the impact, and I think that's really compelling. And speaking of compelling, there was a really compelling thank you as part of this campaign as well. So there was an immediate sense of, I've done something good today, and I've seen it, I've witnessed it. And then finally, there was a fourth component to this campaign, which was the follow-up. So there was a very easy, natural thank you that went on with other ways to get involved with the organization. So if we set the stage just a little bit about the changing environment that we're all in today, we know that we're always in a rush. We're always trying to get to places as quickly as possible, and there's no better place where you experience the harried frustration of trying to get from point A to point B than in an airport, right? Airports tend to be very high-stress moments where you're dealing with a lot of people, and you really just want to get through and get to your airplane, or maybe to the lounge and hang out for a little bit before your flight to somewhere, tropical and really enjoyable. And so what this organization did is they intercepted people in a very easy way to ask and get them to respond. So you might think if somebody approaches you at an airport, you're going to be really ticked off and really not want to get involved. But look at some of these faces. Look at the delight at these two girls who are at the airport, probably going somewhere fantastic, and the smiles on their faces. They're genuinely pleased with the experience. This guy's kind of blown away. He's really just surprised and taken aback that something really clever, really cool has happened. And this one really has a really nice, positive look on her face. She's done something good, and she feels really good at this moment. And so would you imagine that these people were in an airport if I hadn't told you that before? Probably not. So let's have before we have a look, actually, sorry. One of the things that I find in my job really difficult is helping organizations understand why or how they can improve the giving experience. And one of the reports that came out last year from CAF that I thought was really interesting and is chock-a-block full of really interesting statistics was this one. And it went on to say that 70% of people said they'd be more inclined to give if they knew how the money was directly helping. And I think this was reiterated in a study that we've also, as Blackbaud, have done recently, asking about people participating and why do they participate in events and things like that and fundraise for you. And it's a very similar kind of story as we're missing the loop. We're not closing the loop in the engagement process to go back to people and tell them, you did something good, you did something great, and here's what you did. And I think that's actually really, really powerful. If we can get, as fundraisers, if we can go back and create campaigns or create experiences that can close that loop, that actually leaves that sense of feeling that we're all really searching for. It's in our nature to look for that positive experience.
The social swipe, the first poster that accepts credit cards. The poster makes giving easier than ever before, and you can see the results. Your donation can provide daily bread for a family in Peru, or help an imprisoned Filipino child return to a normal life, all for just €2. These unique billboards were developed together with Stripe.com, a leader in innovative payment solutions. The posters initially attracted people's attention in international airports, but stayed with them long after. When donors received their credit card statement, they were asked to turn their one-off donation into a monthly donation. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference. The social swipe, making giving easier than ever before.
So, really simple, really compelling, and really engaging. And that's why I love this campaign. We had that low barrier ask of just €2, and one of the things that they really looked for was they knew that everybody in that place had a credit card, and it was so easy to just be able to swipe that. Imagine the possibilities when we start to think about contactless, if we've heard about Pennies for London today, and all the opportunities that that presents as well. It had seamless mechanics. It actually is quite complicated and quite technical to have this screen that presented at the point of donation with this very interesting and reactive video. So the hands breaking free and the bread slicing. And that was all tied in through the payment processing to this successful transaction there. But for a donor, I don't really care about that stuff. I just want the good experience. And so I think they did a really beautiful job of executing that. There's that instant gratification that we all look for every day, and increasingly more and more, is that sentiment that I've done something really good and it was very simple. And of course, there was that follow-up, and that was really powerful and really engaging. Now, don't just take my word for it. What were the results? Over €3,000 was raised in the first month with this campaign. Additionally, in that follow-up letter, they had a 23% increase on year additional donations. So people responded, people engaged, and people like us are talking about it now, which is really powerful. So I think that this is a campaign that I certainly wish I would have thought of, and I think given the technology that's coming out the door and is presented to us in the sector and through technology today, we're just going to see more and more compelling offers in the future. So with that, I say thank you.